Hey guys, welcome to Happywax TV. So I will try and keep this video as short as I can. I am like suffering from a serious food coma. I don't know about you guys, but when the holidays roll around, I eat way too much fucking food. And the whole time it's like, why do you spend all that time in the gym if you just fucking ruin yourself the week of Christmas and New Year's? I mean, it's just everything goes out the fucking window, right? So anyways, I was laying around today and I was like, fuck, I haven't even done a top 10 list for my favorite or worst movies of the year. So, and a ton of you have asked me for them. So I figured I better get my fat ass in here and bang something out for you guys. And also too, I just want to say thank you. If you're new to the channel, I mean, thank you and welcome aboard. Last year at this time, I think we were sitting around 800 subscribers. Now we're almost at 2,100 subscribers, which is absolutely fantastic. That's roughly, give or take, about 100 subscribers a month, which is just awesome. Again, like I did last year, I cut a check for the Salvation Army, the children's food toy drive that they have here in London. I gave them my subscriber count, which I think was at 2,061 at the time, $2,000.61 I cut and took down. So again, that's all because of you guys. Not that I asked you for money. I don't take your money, but I matched the subscriber count. So I'm going to do the same thing next year. So it's fantastic. So I just want to say thank you very much for really bumping this channel up. Again, I don't monetize the channel. I don't ask you for money. I probably will have t-shirts this year. I know I said the same thing last year. I am working on it. It's just, I'm so busy at my regular job. I just don't have a lot of time and I'm like a one-man show here. So I will get around to it, but anything I take in from this channel, even if I have to end up monetizing this channel because of the new YouTube regulations, any money I make from this channel, I will just save and put in my charity and then give at the end of the year to the children's toy drive for the Salvation Army, just so you know what I'm all about here. So anyways, again, I want to say hello and thank you to everybody. I hope you had a wonderful holiday. Yeah, and this is, I guess, my top 10 list. Now, I'm going to be very quick. I'm not going to review the movies. I'm just going to say what they are and give my quick opinion. And also, too, if you look some of these movies up, if you haven't seen them, you might see that some of them were from like 2017, 2018. What I've done is I'm talking about like the movies that are in this list are movies that were released this year. So if you see that it has 2017 beside it, if you go on IMDb, that's when it was released to the festivals, not released to the public. So all these movies that we're talking about now have been released to the public in 2019 on video on demand or DVD or Shudder or Netflix or stuff like that. So that's how I'm doing it this year. So not all the movies are from this year, just so you understand. So, okay, so we're gonna start off with the notables and I'll go very quick. Again, this channel, if you're new to it, I don't really revolve too much around doing reviews on bigger budgeted movies. Once in a while I do some reviews on them, but for the most part, I stick to the video on demand stuff, the lower budgeted stuff. I feel it doesn't get enough, you know, kind of review people talking about it. So that's what I kind of revolve around for the most part. But there's some big budget movies too that I do like to talk about. But for the most part, we talk about smaller, independent and video on demand horror movies here. So anyways, so for the notable movies, I'll give you 5. Obviously, Joker was a fantastic movie. It made over $1 billion. If you can fucking, it was just awesome. I think I saw it 4 or 5 times at the theater. If you're one of the few people that haven't seen it, go watch it because it is fucking phenomenal. The Dead Don't Die. I fucking love that movie. I'm a huge Jim Jarmusch fan and I love Bill Murray. I just thought it was fantastic. It was really, really old school and it brought back memories of me when I was a kid watching Night of the Living Dead. I just thought it was fantastic. So if you haven't seen that one, be sure to check it out. Sweetheart, I thought was a huge surprise for me. I really did like the trailer and I loved the movie. I don't think there's enough good creature feature movies out there, and this one, to me anyways, just killed it. So if you haven't seen that one yet, check it out, Sweetheart. The Fair is a fantastic movie. It's kind of like a one location style movie. It's shot in a cab for the most part, and I just loved it. It was you kind of know what's going to happen, but it did have a surprise ending and the pacing was fantastic. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you check out The Fair. And then lastly was Zombieland 2. I liked the first movie. I loved the second movie. I thought the second movie was absolutely phenomenal. Pardon me too, I'm a little sick. My my throat's a little fucked up. So Zombieland 2, make sure you check that out. Okay, so now let's get to the top 10 list, and we'll get through this as fast as we can. I'll try not to ramble. Okay, so number 10 on my list is a movie called Haunt. I didn't have high hopes for this movie going into it. I thought it was just going to be your typical haunted house movie. And man, was I ever wrong. This movie is fucking fantastic. It's got lots of surprises, and the characters, the bad characters in this movie are something that I really haven't seen before on the screen. You know what I mean? So I was like shocked when we get the reveal. I was like, wow, this is fucking fantastic. So, and it's also on Shudder right now too. So if you're kind of on the fence about watching it, I'm saying go fucking watch it, because it is. I haven't talked to one person who's seen this who hasn't liked this movie. It is definitely a diamond in the rough. So the movie's called Haunt, and it's on Shudder now. Number 9 is the movie Life Changer. I'll tell you, I did a trailer review for this movie, and I thought it looked fucking great. And this is what low budget horror movies are all about. It's about a shapeshifter and just his kind of life, or its life, I guess, and how it goes about meeting people. You know what I mean? And then it has to take their form, so it devours them. You know what I mean? It sucks the life out of them. But like, what happens if it falls in love? Do you know what I mean? Or if it has people that it likes, but it doesn't want to die. So, you know what I mean? I don't want to give too much away. It's a real cool take on like the shapeshifter kind of creature feature film. I thought it was fantastic. It's called Life Changer. If you haven't seen it, it may change your life. I don't know. But anyways, make sure you check it out, because I thought that movie was fucking fantastic, and that is number 9 on my list. Number 8 is a movie that everybody should fucking watch. I love this style of movie. There isn't a lot of them out there, because they're like, I can only imagine the organization that has to go in to a movie that is done in one continuous cut. And that's the movie for me, that is number 8. It is called One Cut of the Dead. Again, you can watch this movie on Shudder. It's on there now. It's about a bunch of independent filmmakers making a zombie film. And then while they're making the zombie film, a real zombie outbreak happens. Okay, so they have to go through that. But it is shot in one continuous cut. So there's no cuts. There's no breakaways, nothing. It's just from start to finish. It's an hour and 36 minutes, and it's just one take. And my God, the organization that has to go into these, and this is a good fucking movie too. Don't get me wrong. I get subtitled. It's on Shudder, but I mean, goddamn, just watching this thing and the pace that it sets, like, bravo. This actually should be higher on my list, but there was so many good fucking movies that came out this year. I put it at number 7. So One Cut of the Dead, it's on Shudder now. Do not miss that movie. Another movie that is coming out in January is called Dark Encounter. This movie blew me away. I saw the trailer for it, and they did a fantastic job with the trailer, because they really didn't give anything away. And I'll tell you, I've seen a lot of fucking movies in my time, and this one, it got me. It really did. Like, I thought this was just going to be a straight up alien abduction movie. And at the halfway mark, and I don't want to give spoilers, I mean, this movie just turns you right on your fucking head. You know what I mean? It's almost like a slap in the face, because you're like, what the fuck? I didn't even see that coming. So, and I've talked to a lot of people online about this movie, and they all felt the same way, and they loved it just as much as I did. It's called Dark Encounter. I actually have it for my 2019, but it got pushed back a little bit, and it does actually not coming out until January, but we're going to leave it in here anyways, because it is so fucking good. So Dark Encounter, this is one you don't want to fucking miss. Where are we here? Number 6. Okay, so this is one that I almost forgot about, because it actually came out like in January, a year ago, or almost a year ago. So, and I kind of forgot about it when I was going through my list. I was like, holy fuck, I forgot about this flick, and I loved this movie. It's called The Unseen. If you haven't seen it, I mean, make sure you find it and you watch it. It is an independent look at the Invisible Man, and we've got James Winall's Invisible Man movie coming out later this year, but I highly recommend that you watch this movie. It's gritty. It's got like an 80s style feel to it, and I fucking loved this. Everything about this movie I fucking loved, and the special effects are great, and the story that it tells about this man who kind of abandons his family because he has this disease where he's slowly going invisible, and how he deals with it. It's fucking awesome. It really is. And it's one of those movies where it's a horror movie, so it'll scare you a little bit, but then you also feel for what this guy goes through. And it's upsetting. It really is. But goddamn, this is a fucking good movie. So make sure you check it out. It's called The Unseen. Highly recommended, and I believe it is number 6 on my list. Now, number 5, I could have put this higher if I wanted to, but again, there were so many fucking good movies that came out. But number 5 on my list is Cosmos. This movie, and you guys, if you follow my channel, I talk about this movie all the fucking time. This movie was made on a 0 budget. All the camera equipment that they used was borrowed. The two brothers, Elliot and Xander Weaver, did all the editing. They fucking pretty much did everything. They were the crew. I think they did everything except for some of the soundtrack. But my God, this movie was fantastic. Again, this is one of these movies, I went into it and I didn't really have high hopes for it just because it was legitly a 0 budget. And man, I was fucking blown away. This thing is a must-see for anyone, whether it's not really a horror movie, it's more like of a sci-fi type mystery movie. But this is one, honestly, everyone that I've recommended this movie to that has watched it has messaged me back and just raved about it. And again, when you watch this movie, just keep in mind it was made on a 0 fucking budget. So anyways, Cosmos is number 5 on my list. Okay, number 4 is a big budget movie, but it is fucking awesome. And I think I saw it 3 times or 4 times. I can't remember. Anyways, Dr. Sleep. This movie, I was never a huge fan of The Shining when I was growing up. It wasn't one of my go-to horror movies. So when I heard that this movie was coming out and I saw the trailer for it, I was like, whatever. I'll go see it and be done with it. Man, I'll tell you, I did not want this movie to fucking end. It's 2.5 hours long, and it goes by, it feels like it's an hour movie. The pacing in this fucking movie is perfect, and the characters you care about, I mean, it's fucking fantastic. Mike Flanagan fucking killed it as a director in this movie. Ewan McGregor was awesome, and Rebecca Ferguson is fucking just absolutely fantastic. I loved this movie. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but if you haven't seen Dr. Sleep yet, do yourself a favor and find this movie and watch it, because it is absolutely fantastic, and it is number 4 on my list this year. Now, number 3, it's called Tigers Are Not Afraid. It's on Shudder now, and I'll tell you, if you have not seen this movie, or if you are subscribed to Shudder and you've seen it, but you're kind of unsure about it, and you've flipped through it or passed it by, don't. Take my advice, okay? Watch this fucking movie. It is subtitled, but just suck it up if you don't like subtitles and watch this fucking thing. I guarantee you this movie will fucking rock you at your deepest core of your soul. The kids in this movie, it's all, the whole cast is more or less a bunch of kids from the ages of 5 to maybe 12 or 13. And God damn it, I'll bet you, you will not find a better acted movie than this movie called Tigers Are Not Afraid. It is fantastic. I just did a review for it, so go find it, and if you want to find out more about the movie. But I'm telling you, if you're on Shudder or you see it on video on demand and you see this movie, do not pass it by, because it is fucking awesome. And it's probably, it's my number 3 movie of the year, but I mean, it easily could have been my number 1, but my number 1 movie, actually there's a tie for number 1, so I don't want to give too much out of the bag. So anyways, my number 2 movie is on Netflix, and I have watched this. I probably have watched this from start to finish this year, probably 10 times. It's Love, Death, and Robots. I love this style of short film animation. One of my favorite movies of all time is Heavy Metal, okay? And anytime I can grab stuff that brings me back to my childhood, it reminds me of watching that movie when I was a kid, I will fucking just latch onto it. And that's what I did here. Some of the short films in this movie or this series weren't the best, but I mean, for the most part, it was killer. You know what I mean? And I just sat there with my mouth wide open like a little kid. I was like, this is fucking awesome. And they've just signed, I think it was 2 months ago they announced it, or a month and a half ago, they have signed on for a second season. So I cannot fucking wait. So if you have Netflix for any reason, one of the reasons has to be for Love, Death, and Robots. It was absolutely fantastic, and it blew me away, and it is my number 2 on the list for this year. Okay, so now for number 1, I have a tie, okay? And sorry, I don't mean to cheap out or whatever, but I just could not decide between these two movies because when I watched them both, I was fucking blown away by both of them. So a tie for number 1, and the first one is Bliss, okay? I had the trailer for this movie. I think I did a review on it, and it blew me away, okay? I didn't know what it was about, okay? They did a great job editing it. I had no fucking clue what it was about, and I sat down and watched this thing, and I was like, this is one of the best fucking vampire movies I have ever seen in my entire fucking life. Dora Madison, who I've actually spoken to on Instagram, she's the main actress in this movie. I don't know where she went in her head to get this character, but I mean, if you want to see fucking character acting, please watch this fucking movie because it is absolutely fantastic. I recommended it, and everyone that has watched this, that has messaged me back about it, has fucking loved this movie. It's easy to find. It's on video on demand now. It's called Bliss, and I'm telling you, if you want to be blown away, if you're a fan of the Mandy style, actually, I'll tell you something. This movie, like, you can compare this to Mandy, but this movie is like Mandy on crack, okay? It is fucking nuts, and I highly recommend it, and it is tied for my number 1 movie. Now, the other number 1 movie, and I cannot recommend this movie enough, and you'll probably know what it is before I even say it, but it's a movie called The Headhunter, okay? God damn it, I fucking love the trailer for this movie, and then when I actually got the movie sent to me, and I watched it, I was like, this movie is fucking fantastic. It's only an hour and I think 10 minutes long, but it was made on a budget of $30,000, okay? And it stars one person, and it's Christopher Reig, and I'll tell you, man, oh man, like this guy fucking kills it. There's hardly any dialogue. I don't even know if there is any fucking dialogue. It's just him fighting this beast, and it's fucking absolutely incredible. For $30,000, I have not seen movies made for $30 million that look as good as this movie. And it was cool too, because when I posted the review for this movie, I had some of the people who were kind of involved in the movie, and the one guy that messaged me was the clothing designer, or the outfit designer for this movie, and it was great talking to him. And you know what I mean, I went on his website, and just some of the stuff that he is involved in, like with the leathers and stuff like that, like it's incredible. So, and I mean, everything about this movie is fucking fantastic. And again, this movie is on Shudder. They just put it on there, I think, about 3 weeks ago. So if you haven't seen The Headhunter yet, I highly recommend this movie. This movie and Bliss are my 2 number 1s. If you watch these movies, if you haven't seen them yet, I promise you, I mean, this will just make your New Year's that much better. So anyways, there's my top 10 list. I tried to keep it as short as I could. I know I like to ramble. Again, I just wanted to thank everyone for, subbing and like talking to me online and stuff. And again, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to message me. I love talking to you guys. Also too, I know I don't comment as much as I used to on the comments you guys leave. It's very time consuming, and I only have so much time, and this channel is really growing. So, but believe me when I say this, I read every single comment that you guys put on there, and it might be a day or 2 or maybe even a week before I get to read them all, but I always do, and I always like them, and I always put a heart beside them. And if you see that, if you get that response back, that means that I have read it, okay? Sometimes I just don't have time to leave a comment back. I do try my best, but just know that I will always read everything that you guys comment on because I love it. And if you message me, or if you want to email me movies to watch, or what you want to see in the future, by all means, don't be afraid. The more the merrier. I really do appreciate it. So anyways, guys, I hope you all have a good 2020. I will be doing lots this year, provided my channel doesn't get taken down again. And yeah, I hope you like this list. Again, I haven't seen every single movie that's out, but this is most of the stuff like I've seen and I've loved. And yeah, don't worry, because this list is coming very soon. The worst of 2019, and oh boy, wait till you see this one. So anyways, guys, that's my top 10 list for 2019, and yeah, we'll see you very soon on the worst of 2019, guys. So until then, stay scared.